Salve te omnes. This is week 2 of our awesome online learning journey. Counting down to spring break at this point, but we have one more thing to learn before we go and continue to stay in our homes responsibly. Let's see. So for Monday, you guys are going to be learning about dative Dave, the dative case of nouns. This is probably my favorite presentation I've ever made. There is a video for it down here that I'll also link at the end of this video, that if you haven't seen it yet, you'll do well to go watch it. First step, open these notes on Google Drive. If you're able to print them out and write on them, great. If not, that's totally fine. That is not the expectation. You can do these straight from Google Docs. As always, remember, if you open up something and it doesn't let you edit it, you still can. You just have to make a copy, file, make a copy. When you've made your own copy, you're going to open these up in one window, open my awesome video in another window, and you can and also you can just take straight from the presentation, take information straight from there. You can even copy paste. I'd rather you type it, but you know, it's online learning. That video will explain a new type of noun, basically how you say I'm giving something to someone or doing something for someone. And it gets used quite a bit, and it's good to know. And it also, this video covers nominative and accusative forms as well, similar to stage 8. That is why I did not go over the stage 8 notes on video, because this basically covers it. So either way, watch this video, enjoy it, bask in its knowledge, write out the notes. Here's the presentation if you need it. Step 3 is to open the Stage 9 practice quiz folder and complete dative Latin to English 1 quiz with at least an 80. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go over it right now. If you haven't watched the Dative Dave video, please skip this part. Go to the end of the video and follow the link to the Dative Dave video that I'll post there. If you have watched Dative Dave and have your notes and you've tried this, well, we're about to have an answer key. So we're doing part 1. Oh, hello everybody who's already done it and done great. Okay, so I've already started. I just was testing it out, making sure the answer key worked and everything. But I'm at thermi here. I know that thermon means bath, but this is a new dative ending, AE. This could mean baths. It literally could. AE, it's unfortunately the dative ending is the same. Dative singular is the same as nominative plural. You can figure it out in a sentence based on context. Because this is the dative quiz, thermi is going to mean to the bath. The main difference between what you got to look out for in this, you could also say for the bath, for what it's worth, because it could be to or for. The main difference between that you're going to have to look out for is whether it's singular or plural. Hospiti, hospes, hospitem, third declension. I know the dative singular ending is I, so that's why this is going to mean to the guest. It could also mean for the guest. Actually, I'll type this out, for, just to show you that it'll also work. It'll accept to as well. See, still will count it right. Because the difference between to and for is more based off how you translate the sentence into English. That's not really a Latin thing. They didn't care. To them, they were both the same, even though to us it sounds very different. I know it's really weird. Naso comes from nasus nasum up here, second declension, meaning nose. Naso, O is the dative singular ending, so I'm going to say to the nose. There you go. All right, kiwi. That's third declension. Kiwis kiwim up here, third declension. I can tell because of that EM right there. I know is the dative singular ending, so to the citizen. All right, hospitibus. Hospes, hospitem, third declension, meaning guest. I know third declension words that end with ibus. Those are plural, so this is going to be to the guests, or for the guests. Nasis, nasus nasum, second declension. I know that is ending is second declension dative plural, so it'll be to the noses, or for the noses. Hominibus. Homo hominem means man, third declension. As before, I know ibus is dative plural, so I'm going to say to the men. No, I will not accept to the mans. Kiwibus, Kiwis Kiwim, once again, third declension. Ebus endings, dative plural in the third declension, so I'm going to say to the citizens. And lastly, number 12, Serwis. It's not even on here, but we know the word Serwus means slave. It's second declension. Is is dative plural, so to the slaves, as opposed to Serwo, which is to the slave. You'll see that I messed up earlier and got one wrong. Whoops. But alas, here we are. I still got a 92, and that's good enough because I asked you guys to take it until you get an 80. Just try and get those endings memorized and what they mean. That's the most important thing. And that's the end of Monday. I'm going to move on to Tuesday since this has only been 5 minutes. But once you've done those 3 things, you're good to go. I do encourage you to explore the rest of the practice quiz folder. Now that you have those notes, you have all the tools and the vocab from last week. You have everything you need to complete all the quizzes in that folder. And I will cover the rest of those in a later video. Tuesday, March 24th, I asked you guys to open up a bunch of things that are on Google Classroom, so I'm going to go there in a second, but I'll just read out through what I got. Number 1, open the Thermae Romanae Google Doc and first follow it to Magister Craft's Roman Baths video. You're going to fill out that worksheet in Google Classroom based on the Baths video, which is also linked there. And in the second part, you're going to need to open your Stage 9 packet, which is also in Google Classroom, and use that to finish the worksheet that you started with the video. Scroll, then to the story Thermae on page 145 in your packet, read it over, and use it to answer the questions on a link quizzes that I have on there. And I ask you guys to review your part 1 vocab because on Wednesday you had a vocab quiz. So open this up, go to Google Classroom. I have every individual assignment linked. This is, and it'll always be linked, labeled similar to its learning. School closure plan for Tuesday, March 24th. Same instructions are right here. Here's the Google Doc that you'll need. Like I said, yours will probably appear somewhere up here. Yours will appear somewhere in the top right. You'll open it up. You'll be able to edit it fully. You'll open the video, the Magister Craft video, and fill this out. It's all linked right in here. So you'll open this up. You'll be able to edit it. You will follow this link to the YouTube video for Magister Craft. Answer these 6 things and this. Down here at the bottom, you'll see Stage 9, the Baths. You can follow that, and it'll take you right to the packet. You can also get to the packet from the assignment. You just answer these questions. Once you have the Stage 9 packet open, which I'm going to go back over here because I already have it open. Whoops. Here we go. You go to page 154 in here. Page 154 has all the information that you're going to need. All right. And so that'll take us back to, it asks you to go to page 145, which is the story Thermae, which just means baths. Basically, this story just describes the baths. You'll use it to answer this quizzes right here. The mobile link to an assignment. Mrs. Flaherty. Okay. I don't know who Mrs. Flaherty is. That's terrifying. You know what? Join it. Why not? Oh, I need an email. I need my parents' email. Let's see what happens. I don't know what this is, y'all. So bear with me. Let's just see what happens. As Charlie grows smarter, what's happening to him socially? I mean, there's 35 questions. I'm not doing this. I really don't want to let it go, though. Sorry that this is all being recorded. It's your tax dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, technically it's 3:45, so I'm off the clock. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna guess he's alienated and lonely. That sounds what happens when you get smart. You start to feel alone. It doesn't tell me if I got it right. Alright, this is trash, Miss Flaherty. I can't deal with this. Alright, yeah, I'm going to save and exit. I'm going to come back to that later. And now all my stuff's gone. I'm glad that you guys are able to enjoy this experience with me. If this happened to you, Flowers for Algernon. Who's on my... Okay, great. I'm going to pause this and probably cut all this. Alright, so after some finagling, I found out that my link, I guess, expired and then got taken by a Flowers for Algernon, probably 12th grade lit quiz. Either way, now, when you click this quizzes link, it has 6 questions, true or false, about Thermi. This is practice. It's not meant to be stressful. I'm going to click play and walk you all through it. First, it asks here, number 1, where does this happen? Omnes togas deponebat. Where do they take off? Where do they all take off togas? Tepidarium, Palaestra, Frigidarium, Caldarium, Apoditarium. This is all based off language from the story. Up here, you have a lot of. Let's see. The Pompeian citizens have 3 baths. Every day they go to the baths. The slaves walk behind the masters. The slaves were carrying or bearing or bringing oil and strigils. The citizens and the slaves, after they entered the baths, saw athletes and fighters. The fighters were working themselves out, or were exercising themselves in the Palaestra, which is the exercise yard. Many were dancing, many were throwing or sending out discs. The slaves were searching for the discs for the masters. The slaves, after they found the disc, returned it to the citizens. That's fine. Then the slaves were trading, or were handing over the discuses to the citizens. The citizens, after they exercised themselves, entered the Apoditarium. Everyone in the Apoditarium would take off their togas. The Apoditarium is the changing room. Oh man, these memes, right? Oof. Look at y'all. Where does this happen? Servi dominus diligenter cum striligibus, or strigilibus radebant. Where are the slaves scraping their masters carefully with strigils? I guess this is as good a time as any to tell you that's how they bathed. Masters would get rubbed down with olive oil, and then the slave would take a dull blade called a strigil and run it down his back. But we got to figure out where this happens. We've already figured out the Apoditarium is the changing room, so it's not that, surprisingly. I got Palaestra, Tepidarium, Frigidarium, Caldarium. Then they go to the Caldarium after they sit. Oh, I'm sorry, I went ahead a little bit. Everyone takes off their togas in the Apoditarium, and they enter the warm room, the Tepidarium. The slaves in the warm room were sitting for a short time. Sorry, the citizens were sitting in the Tepidarium for a short time. Then they go to the Caldarium, or the hot room. In the hot room, or the Caldarium, there were many chairs. There, masters were sitting and gossiping. The slaves were carrying oil and strigils for their masters. The slaves carefully were scraping their masters. So gross. The Thermi, the baths, pleased greatly the Pompeians. So where does this happen? Slaves scraping their masters with strigils. That happens in the Caldarium, or the hot room, like scalding. That's where the hot water was. Oh man. Where does this happen? Athletai exercebant. That's way back in the beginning. That is athletai in Palaestra se exercebat. They work out in the Palaestra, which is the yard, the exercise yard. Where does this happen? Domini sedebant et geribant. Where do they sit and gossip? We saw that down here when they were talking about the Caldarium. In Caldario, there are many chairs. There, the masters were sitting and gossiping. That is the Caldarium, the hot room. Think of it like a sauna where a bunch of old sweaty men sit. Oh, yeah, I get a power up.